everybody. Welcome back to Mondays with Mark. It's Monday, and I'm Mark. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. In case you missed last week's video, we talked about how the Bank of Canada's decision to not increase or decrease the interest rates could possibly affect the real estate market here in London. So if you missed that video, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on that notification so you don't miss any other Mondays with Mark. And you can go back and you can watch all the other videos I have in the playlist there to make sure that you're all caught up. Now, this week, I want to touch on something that happened, of course, some more breaking news that happened last week. And in case you didn't know, but as of last week, the Canadian government, Justin Trudeau, was here in London, Ontario. And he made an announcement that they will be allocating $74 million to London, Ontario for the construction of new and affordable housing, which is a humongous deal. Obviously, there's a supply issue, so we need more houses and we need more affordable housing because, as many of you know, the market value and the market price has gone up quite substantially over the last several years, making it kind of difficult for a lot of first time buyers. And if you know or you are a first time buyer yourself, you've probably heard this before. A lot of them feel that they just cannot afford properties today. As of right now, because they're where the market value is, and we've got bidding wars because the supply is so limited. So with this money and the addition of new houses, I believe they're estimating somewhere around 11,500, 11,900 new homes in the next 3 years, which is a pretty huge deal. So keep an eye out for that, and it's going to be very exciting to see all of these new options becoming available. And that doesn't include just homes to buy. This also impacts the rental market as well, as a lot of these places will be zoned for rental properties. So, of course, the more rental properties should also hopefully bring down the incredibly fast rising rates of rent right now, and make that also a little bit more affordable for everybody as well. So, a lot of good can potentially come from this. As well as an influx of more people into our city, which is going to help with our economy. It's just overall going to lead to a lot of really, really positive things, in my opinion. Um, yeah, and now, what does this mean if you're a homeowner? If you're a homeowner, you may see more of a mixed impact. While the increased affordability of housing can lead to some neighborhood revitalization, some gentrification, some other less desirable neighborhoods may get an influx of people, and of course, that will in turn make it a little bit nicer and nicer as time goes on, and then ultimately we'll just have an even more amazing city to live in than we do have right now. But some owners may worry that the affordable housing developments may have a negative perception initially, like people hear subsidized housing, affordable housing, they immediately think of low income, assisted living, that sort of thing. I actually, when I first moved to London, my wife and I lived across the street from a affordable housing complex, and we couldn't have told. The people were amazing. They were super nice and friendly. I actually didn't know that it was subsidized affordable housing, actually until about a year after I had moved away. So it doesn't carry the stigma that a lot of people may think it does. However, the long-term effects often tend to be a positive overall for the neighborhood, as they do become, as I mentioned, become more vibrant, they become more attractive because they are more affordable. So they're going to bring in a new group of people that is really going to help gentrify and raise that status of that location. Now, what about real estate investors? Now, investors, they may be the ones that may be affected kind of the most in some people's opinion, but they're just going to need to adapt to the changing market and the influx of supply, and become a little bit more competitive as the market does tend to change. There are other options, of course, that investors can explore, as maybe even becoming involved in the affordable housing sector. And with that, there may come government funding, some support, and it could actually be a win-win situation. But you always obviously want to talk to your financial advisor and, of course, a local realtor before you start making those decisions to really see how you, as an investor, can capitalize and maximize on these new announcements. So, yeah, so some pretty big news, guys. Hopefully, this will is the first step in many towards going and making our our real estate market and our housing situation more stable, more affordable, and just all around a better place, and getting rid of the kind of the negativity that's surrounding it, and say, houses are too expensive and I can't afford it and the interest rates are too high. Hopefully this is the first step in many to really help tackle those issues and make it much more affordable for Canadians, more specifically people right now living in and around the London, Ontario um, area. Um, yeah, just really go a long way to making housing more affordable, and just generally changing the market, or at least making it stagnant so it's not changing so frequently, and just makes it a little bit more easier to stay on top of, keep up to date with as well, and use that information to make your decisions. So if you're for this, you're against this, I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. So please don't be afraid to voice your opinion down below in the comments. I always read them, and I'm always interested to see how other people are feeling about this. I think it's going to be a great thing. I think it's a great first step towards doing some serious changes that have needed to be done for a while. So I'm really, really excited to see how this is going to affect our market and, of course, our city, as the city that I live in, and the city that I love. So, yeah, leave your comments below. I'm happy to read them and I'll respond to them. But if you have any other questions, or you'd like some more information about these announcements or anything else London real estate related, then that's exactly why we need to meet. My information is never hard to find. You can find me on Facebook, of course, here on YouTube, my channel, and Instagram as well. I'm pretty active there. And just reach out. Let's set up an appointment, a phone call, Zoom call, in-person meeting, whatever strikes your fancy. And let's sit down and see how my team can help you and your family realize your real estate dreams. So thank you so much, guys. This has been Mondays with Mark, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Have an amazing week. Stay safe, and we'll see you next Monday.